Alright, so this is the current situation. Across Steam, Xbox Game Pass, Epic Games freebies that I have been collecting, well, pretty much for as long as they've been doing them, and all the other launchers, I have in the past decade accumulated somewhere between 12 and 1500 games. Now, this number might seem a lot to most, and not that much to some. But if you ask me, after a couple hundred games, the number itself loses any point of reference and value, because you might as well, if you have over 1,000 games, you might as well have 5,000 games. It doesn't really make an impactful difference. It's pretty much the same. Now, having this many games, I have, as many others, fallen into the backlog trap. I'm sure you have seen many videos on YouTube about the backlog and how to conquer your backlog, or why having a backlog is good, or why having a backlog is bad. And I myself have watched probably hundreds of these videos. Now, I don't blame myself for watching them, because I do enjoy them in some aspect, and I think I needed to watch them and experiment myself to then come to the conclusion I have come to, because without watching all of those and applying those methods, I wouldn't have come to where I am. I have made lists in the past. I have made backlogs. Hell, I made one like a month ago for this year. And I made it because I love lists. I'm gonna be honest, I absolutely love making lists. I love organizing things. I love making Excel spreadsheets with all the details listed. This I think is a hobby in itself for me. I love making timetables. Now, do I stick to them? Mostly, actually, let's not lie, I don't at all. And it's the same with the backlog, right? I love the process of organizing things and making a list, but then as soon as execution comes, I crumble, right? Now, when it comes to games, this maybe isn't even such a big problem. It's more of a problem in actual real-life projects, but that's a topic for another time. Over the years of making different kinds of backlogs and trying different things, I have come to the conclusion that the backlog, in its current form, as most people use it, like the most go-to backlog, sucks because of a couple main issues. The first one is you make the end goal your requirement for happiness, right? So I feel like, now this might not be the case for all people, but I do think that most people, when they make a backlog, they go in with the mindset of, I'm gonna feel better once I finish all these games. And that in itself is a bad approach, because first off, you'll rush the games you play just to tick them off the list. And once you do finish the backlog, if you somehow manage to do that, you'll just feel empty. There is no fulfillment at the end of that road. At least I don't think it is. Now, I haven't reached the end, so I wouldn't know from experience, but just looking at it, I don't think that would bring satisfaction. I think there's much more satisfaction on the journey towards completing the backlog and experiencing all the great games you have than the actual end goal. And this is where things get a bit twisted, because you go in with the mindset that the end goal is what's going to bring happiness, where it's actually just playing through the games is what's gonna be fun. And then once you finish it, you're kind of done, and it's in a way sad, right? The second thing that I think is wrong with the current meta, so to speak, of backlogs is that you make them for way too far in advance. So I've made a backlog for a year ahead. And why this is bad is because my interests and my mood right now is just that. It's my interest and mood right now. This is going to change in a week, in a month, and most definitely in a year. I might not be interested in remotely the same games in a couple months than I am now. So making a backlog of, say, 50 games for a year in advance, I feel like you're just setting yourself up for failure. So anyways, what's my conclusion of how to fix this? Well, it's simple. And the solution is, don't have a backlog. Now hear me out. I know I've been rambling for so long to then just say don't have a backlog, right? No, hear me out. Do have a backlog, but don't have, or well, this is at least what I'm going to do. I'm not saying this is the best thing to do, but this is what I'm going to try this year, is I'm going to try and play without a backlog. And what I'll be doing is I will have an Excel spreadsheet where I'm going to list all the games I have played. Now, I am going to try and finish the games I start. Now, if I absolutely detest the game, I am going to just drop it and go play something else. But I am, generally speaking, going to try and finish the games I started. And at the end of the year, I will have a backlog of games I have played. Right? And they're all going to fit my current mood at the time, because I'm going to play whatever I want to play at the time. And I'm going to prioritize the journey instead of the goal, because the goal isn't set in stone. I'm not setting a goal of finish this many games this year. I'm setting a goal of play games that you want to play and have fun, experience different things, try out games you haven't tried out yet, because I have way too many games that I haven't even tried out yet. I'm currently playing through the Call of Duty Modern Warfare series. I'm having an absolute blast. I love it. I'm playing the originals, not the remasters. And I'm finally experiencing what I've been reading and hearing about on the internet for the past decade, right? I'm finally experiencing the iconic moments, the memes, everything for myself, and it's great fun, honestly. And I'm going to continue doing that. I'm gonna go through some of the quote-unquote iconic series that I haven't played through yet. I'm gonna play some new games, some old games. Anyways, I hope this helps to at least one other person that might be struggling with their massive list of games. Yeah, just try it out. If it doesn't work, go back to whatever works for you, or modify what I've given you here. Good luck.